Welcome back to J.J. Isaacson Field here in Ralston, Nebraska for Game 2 of our Sunday Tripleheader on the Corn Belt League Network, where for our 2 o'clock game we have the Red Raiders going head-to-head with the Black Sox. Black Sox have taken each of the first 2 head-to-head matchups with the Red Raiders this year. Pleased to be with you on the Corn Belt League Network. Tyler Reidy alongside Jack McGonigal. And Jack, we saw a great game in Game 1, the 2-1 win for the Haymakers. Very well-pitched, well-played ball game, and this certainly could be another one.
Yeah, absolutely. So far, the Black Sox have had the Red Raiders' numbers, taking the last 3, and now the Red Raiders trying to flip that script and get a win here today on a game that's played not normally. And you got a Sunday afternoon. Typically, we see those night games, so maybe the heat and the sun will kick in, as both teams are not very familiar with that here so far at the Belt.
Yeah, thankfully not too hot today, but still plenty of sun. Clouds starting to clear out as we'll take a look at how things have unfolded across the league over the past week. Going back to July 11th, 6 days ago, and it was a totally different story last Monday for these two teams. Black Sox pulled off a shootout win over the Rail Riders, winning 14-7, but then the Red Raiders ran into the top team in the league twice for a doubleheader and dropped 2 games to the Filthballers. And we'll see the Filthballers later today in the 5 o'clock game, Jack. They just keep on rolling. Tough slot for the Red Raiders.
Yeah, the Red Raiders so far not having the season that they have wanted, but they can turn things around here. They won their last game and trying to get on a win streak and starting to build some momentum as we are reaching that back half of the season.
And then you look at the next day, Tuesday, July 12th, before the Wednesday day off. Rail Riders beat the Crop Dusters 7-1. Bombers had a shootout win. We won't see any of those teams here in this one. Red Raiders had the day off along with the Black Sox. Then you move on to July 14th. This past Thursday, Red Raiders got a big win over the Royal Blue Dogs, 13-5. Blue Dogs, one of the kind of middle-of-the-pack teams in this league. Red Raiders trying to climb out of the bottom. That was a big win for them. And then the Black Sox, on the flip side, got blown out by the Bombers. So we're certainly seeing a little bit of both positive and negative for these two teams over the past week.
Yeah, I mean, that's baseball. You see, I mean, you could see a team get beat 14-1 and then come back and beat the same team 13-0 the next day. That's the beauty of baseball, the unpredictability, and we've seen that all year long here in the Corn Belt, Tyler.
And then you take a peek at the last 2 days of baseball. The Black Sox were in action. The Red Raiders have not played since that big win on Thursday. Black Sox did take down the Haymakers 6-1. The Haymakers offense has been quiet, although they did get the big win earlier today. But Black Sox coming off a win, Red Raiders coming off a big win. It should be interesting to see who can keep their momentum rolling here today, Jack.
Yeah, and the Black Sox sitting pretty high up in the standings. They're a top 3 team in this league, and you need wins if you want to stay at the top against teams that are struggling, like the Red Raiders at 4-15 coming in. And now the Black Sox looking for their 14th win of the year here this afternoon.
And you take a look at the slate of games here today. As we mentioned earlier, Haymakers in that phenomenal baseball game this morning, winning 2-1 over the Bombers. You got the Black Sox and Red Raiders coming up next in about 5 minutes. And then later on tonight, the Filthballers will see the top team in the league in action against the Crop Dusters at 5 p.m. So a full day of baseball, and it'll have a big impact on the standings. We're in the home stretch, just about a week until postseason baseball. Filthballers still running the table, but these games are very high stakes in determining the matchups, 1 through 8. All 8 teams make the postseason, but you certainly want to have a higher seeding, and games like today have a big, big impact on that.
Yeah, I mean, look at 3 through 5. The Bombers, Haymakers, and Rail Riders all within a game of each other, so things can flip pretty quickly, and it begins, here today. Looking forward to it, Tyler.
Should be a great one. We will have first pitch coming up next on the Corn Belt League Network. The Black Sox and the Red Raiders for our 2 o'clock game. Stay with us.
St. Cloud State, number 36.
We are about ready for baseball here in Game 2 of our Sunday tripleheader on the Corn Belt League Network. Red Raiders and Black Sox going head-to-head. As we get set for this one, Brandon Krebs on the mound for the Black Sox, facing the shortstop Ty Beasley to lead things off for the Red Raiders, and he fires high, ball one. Tyler Reidy alongside Jack McGonigal for this one, and Jack, Brandon Krebs, right-hand pitcher on the bump for the Black Sox in this one. He comes in with a season ERA of .227, so certainly a lot to build on here in this one.
Yeah, absolutely, and you're taking on a team that struggled from the plate and really in all aspects this entire season, so this is a confidence booster. Get your confidence up and pitch well. You got make it quick as the sun's beating down on you this afternoon, and yeah, quick work.
Fouled away by Beasley, 2-2. The batting order for the Red Raiders: Beasley leads off at short, Bratetic the catcher second, Nelson the left fielder third, Errol Wallen the third baseman fourth, Mitchell Baker the DH fifth, TJ Swaney the first baseman sixth, as that's fouled off again, Caleb Schramm the right fielder seventh, Noah Triggs the center fielder eighth, and Ira Lee the second baseman rounds it out.
Hey, you notice some Krebs right away. Quick work, doesn't take much time in between pitches, keeping Beasley on his toes to begin the game.
This is rolled out to third. Sipe waits for the high hop and throws to first in time, and Beasley is retired for out number one.
A nice, easy, slow roller over there to third base. Getting Sipe, and nice, strong throw to record the first out of the game.
So that brings up Gabe Bratetic, the catcher. Look at Brandon Krebs. He's made 5 starts this year, but his last appearance was in relief on Friday against the Haymakers. He pitched a scoreless inning, allowing 1 walk, but striking out 2. He fires ball 1 to Bratetic. Krebs has seen the Red Raiders once this year. It was in his last start on July 9th, as this is pulled right at Sipe at third, but passed him into left. And cruising into first with a single, Gabe Ratetic.
And just sneaks by Sipe. That's why they call it the hot corner. You get balls like that all day long, and Sipe will have to be on his toes and be ready as the first two have gone his way.
County Community College, number 29, Jacob Aberg.
And Jacob Aberg,
Now batting, the left fielder.
who has 4 stolen bases on the year, is courtesy running for the catcher.
Nelson.
So now it'll be Dalton Nelson, the 3-hitting left fielder. And he rolls one left side. Sipe dives, can't come up with it, and that's into left field for a hit. So the Red Raiders come out swinging. They have back-to-back singles, and now 2 on, 1 out for the cleanup hitter Wallen.
That's something to watch. If you're Blinn, Hagan, and Sipe, you're on that left side of the diamond. That's where the first 3 balls have gone, so have to be ready and focused up, as there could be a lot of baseballs coming your direction this afternoon.
So now third baseman Arrow Wallen digs in for the Red Raiders. Fairly new player. Joined the Red Raiders, played his first game on July 7th as he hits this one in the air to right. Harris is there. He makes the catch. And Bratetic, check that, Aberg bluffs the tag at second and goes back. So now 2 on, 2 out as Wallen flies out to right.
So far, I've noticed Krebs isn't really a strikeout kind of guy. He's letting these guys hit the ball, trusting his defense, and these Red Raiders have made contact against Krebs and just need to find the gaps, and 2 guys have, and bring one across here early and play from in front.
First pitch now to Mitchell Baker. He's cut on, grounded to short. Blinn picks it up and fires to first in time, so despite the 2 singles, it's a fairly quick inning for Krebs. And the Red Raiders held scoreless in the top of the first. Black Sox come to the plate against Josh Ostin when we return on the Corn Belt League Network. Bottom of the first inning. Black Sox coming to bat against Josh Ostin as we give you their starting lineup. Center fielder Stephen Larkin leads off. First baseman Caden Young second. Batting third, the extra hitter Spencer Crane. Cleanup, catcher Rusty Wortman. DH Brandon Zwiener bats fifth. Third baseman Dustin Sipe bats sixth. Seventh, the shortstop Peyton Blinn. The left fielder Darius Hagan eighth. The right fielder Christian Harris ninth. And the 10-hitter is second baseman Manny Fregoso. As Josh Ostin takes the mound. And fires low, ball one to Larkin, the center fielder. You look at the numbers on Ostin this year. He had high hopes coming in after his spring season at Minnesota Morris, posting an ERA below 2. But it hasn't been the summer he was hoping for, with an ERA of 5.12 in 5 starts, 6 appearances total this season. And he's falling behind 3-0 in the leadoff man, Larkin.
Yeah, Austin's a taller guy, brings some velo with that size, and he's missing low so far. Has to battle back. Never want to give up a leadoff walk to begin your outing.
This is the first time he's pitched against the Black Sox this year, and he gets a strike on Larkin, who flung the bat toward his dugout. Home plate umpire probably can't be too pleased with that, but it is 3-1, and Larkin will have to refocus. Austin's pitch on the ground to third, gobbled up by Wallen, and he guns it to first in time for the out. So after falling behind 3-0, Austin does record the first out on Larkin.
Yeah, home plate umpire's not too big of a fan of the guys who think they've drawn the walk before the call is made, and there's no real favoritism for an umpire player, but I tell you, umpires, it's an easy way to get on their bad side.
Outside, ball 1 on the first baseman, Caden Young. Austin last pitched on Monday in relief against the Filthballers, throwing 2/3 of an inning, giving up an earned run. As again, he falls behind. It's 2-0 on Young. Brennan Anderson had game-winning single up the middle in that one for the Filthballers, as this is fouled back, 2-1. We'll see Anderson in that potent Filthballer lineup in the 5 o'clock game. Two and 1, the count on Young. And he takes up and away, 3-1 the count. Young hitting .286 on the year. Picked up a double on Friday night against the Haymakers. Thinking about left field, but he fouls it away, and the count runs full.
Yeah, that's what we've seen a lot so far in this first inning, is a lot of balls to the left side of the diamond, something to keep an eye on throughout this game.
And that's in the left side of the plate. Ball 4. Caden Young is on with a walk. So this time Austin falls behind and it bites him. And now Spencer Crane, the extra hitter, will come to the plate.
Yeah, control being sort of an issue so far for Austin. You have now you have a walk, and then you have a 3-ball count to begin the day for him. Trying to keep that pitch count low. A little more accuracy here. He's facing the heart of the Black Sox order.
First pitch to Crane is upstairs, ball 1. Austin's problem this year has not been walked. He's only walked 9 in 26 innings, but he has been hit, allowing 38 base hits, including 12 hits in 1 outing against the Filthballers in mid-June. He finds the strike zone. It's chopped foul. 1 ball, 1 strike on Crane.
That gives you a little hint of what the Filthballers offense is capable of. It's always fun to watch those guys in action, having a great summer here.
18-4 their record coming into the day. And there's a wave and a miss. Good slider on the outside, and it's 1-2 on Crane.
And I see Crane's got a bit of an closed stand. He's got that back foot far from the plate with a nice outside pitch.
Chopped foul again. Still 1-2. Crane has raked this season, batting .375. He's hit for power, busting 2 triples and 2 home runs, driving in a team-leading 16 runs. He has been superb against the Red Raiders as well, going 3 for 6 with a couple doubles and 3 runs batted in. 1-2 pitch, up and in. 2-2 the count. Austin trying to find that put-away stuff, and it's there for strike 3. He goes right back to that slider away, and Crane chases it. 2 away in the first. Young still at first.
Now batting, the catcher, from Northeast Community College, number 29, Rusty Wortman.
And needed that strikeout bad. So a runner on first base, 2 down, but after giving up the walk and a high pitch count in the first at-bat, getting that strikeout's big confidence boost.
Rusty Wortman going after the first pitch and fouling it back. Strike one. He went 2 for 3 with a double and a triple against the Red Raiders 2 Saturdays ago on July 9th. And he takes this one outside, 1-1. This is the third meeting of the season between the Red Raiders and Black Sox. Black Sox were victorious 4-2 on June 30th, and again they won 7-4 on July 9th. 1-1 pitch, fouled back again. So we're seeing some good swings, but Black Sox haven't quite been able to put the ball in play aside from the ground out by Larkin to lead things off. See what Wortman can do with a 1-2 count. Outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
That's been kind of the direction we've seen Austin goes. He's trying to get that outside strike like he did with Spencer Crane, but this time Brandon Zwiener saw what happened with Spencer twice. He's not biting on the outside stuff.
1 hop to short. And the play is made by Ty Beasley for the third and final out. So we're scoreless through 1, and we'll go to the second inning. See who can break the ice. Red Raiders and Black Sox headed to the second inning on the Corn Belt League Network.
And 2 up for the Red Raiders.
Top of the second inning. Beautiful day in Ralston at J.J. Isaacson Field. Temperatures in the mid-80s, partly cloudy skies. And the Black Sox and Red Raiders playing ball here on a Sunday afternoon as T.J. Sweeney steps in. He's the first baseman. Want to know the count as Brandon Krebs goes back to work after a 15-pitch, 11-strike first inning. Count even at 1-1.
Please turn off foul balls to the first or third base dugout.
Yeah, something we saw in the first inning. Quick approaches, pretty aggressive at the plate from the Red Raiders, chasing a lot of first pitch, second pitch balls.
That's in there, 1-2, and yeah, you're exactly right. Not very often you see a pitcher give up 2 singles. Neither of those base runners make an out on the base paths, and he only has to throw 15 pitches in the inning. That's inside, 2-2. It was Bertetic and Nelson with back-to-back hits with 1 out in the first, but that was erased with a fly out and a ground out to short from Wallen and Neeson. And Sweeney has worked the count full at 3-2. Full Count delivery is upstairs for ball 4, and it's a leadoff walk for Swaney.
Now batting, the right fielder from Olney Central College, number 33, Caleb Schramm.
And now if you're the Red Raiders, get that leadoff guy on. Now do something with it. Bottom of the order, see if they can come up big and put the Red Raiders in front here in the second inning.
Caleb Schramm, the right fielder, who can also catch, takes inside. 1 ball, no strikes. He's been hitting well as of late with 8 runs batted in his last 11 games as he grounds this one. It's dropped on the mound, but a quick throw to second base, and they rule that the second baseman, Fregoso, stayed on the bag, and now they say safe. What is going on here?
And now it's out again.
It's out again. So here's what happened. Yeah, here's what happened here. The first, Swaney ran from first base. He was initially safe at second. He was called safe. He thought he was out, so he started running back to first, which put the force play at second base back into effect. So they threw to the bag, and he was out. So a miscommunication. Swaney failed to pay attention to the umpire, and it ends up being a reach on a fielder's choice with Noah Triggs coming up. It's weird baseball there.
Yeah, you don't see that every day. It's what you always got to know, the signaling the umpire is making. And Swaney was unaware, and now he's in the dugout.
So that goes down as, what, a 1-4-1-4 out at second base. As this is hit to third, and it bounces over the glove of Sipe. That gets Schramm to second base. So now 2 on, 1 out, and once again, the Red Raiders are threatening, and they're hitting the ball hard to the left side.
I believe on the scoreboard they ruled that an error.
The second baseman from Treasure Valley Community
I think it's an
College,
error,
number
yeah.
32,
It is an error.
Reidy.
That was hit hard, but Dustin Sipe will be punished on the stat sheet, unable to field it. Now 2 on, 1 out for Ira Lee. Schramm at second, Triggs at first. 0-1 the count on Lee. He swings through it, 0-2. Krebs facing his second consecutive 2 on, 1 out situation. With a fly out on Wallen and a ground out from Neeson to end the first. As that is off the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Lee hitting .276 coming into this one. 0 for 3, but drove in a run in his last appearance Monday against the Filthballers. That is spiked in the left-hand batter's box, but a great block by Wortman, and it's 2-2. Pitch from Krebs is turned on and pulled foul. Boy, Lee was sitting on that one. Just couldn't time it up to keep it fair. Still 2-2. Decent speed on the base paths. 5 stolen bases on the year between Schramm at second and Triggs at first. As the 2-2 again is pulled. Base hit left field. Schramm will be held at third. They go station to station, up 90 feet across the board, and the bases are loaded with 1 out for the top of the order.
A nice piece of hitting right there. It's a wise decision, I believe, by third base coach. Keep him at third. Don't want to throw yourself out of and out with less than 2 outs. And now top of the order, bases low. This is an ideal situation the Red Raiders have to capitalize on.
Upstairs, ball 1. Beasley's certainly a guy you want at the plate here. Leads the team with a .467 batting average with runners in scoring position. And he barrels one into left field. That is caught on a dive. The throwback to second base in time, a double play. Darius Hagan with a diving grab in left field, and he throws back to second to turn two. And Brandon Krebs gets some big help from his defense. He's out of the second scoreless. And we go to the bottom half. Red Raiders and Black Sox trying to break the ice.
No matter what your age, skill level, or position, your baseball season begins at the Strike Zone. Featuring state-of-the-art batting cages, group and private instruction, the Strike Zone provides athletes all the training and equipment you need to get your game to the next level. Give the gift of development to your baseball or softball player. Purchase your Strike Zone gift cards today. Baseball never ends at the Strike Zone.
Bottom of the second inning here on the Corn Belt League Network. Red Raiders and Black Sox yet to score here at J.J. Isaacson Field. Tyler Reidy and Jack McGonigal pleased to be with you on a beautiful Sunday afternoon in Omaha. Good crowd on hand. Josh Ostin going back to work here for the Red Raiders. And no swing. Ball one to Brandon Zwiener, the DH. Ostin threw 19 pitches, gave up a walk, but retired the other three men he faced in the first inning, and he gets a grounder to Wallen at third. Good pickup and a high throw, but Swaney hangs on to it over at first, and there's a quick first out in the second.
Now batting, the third baseman from Kansas Wesleyan, number 12, Dustin Sy.
Jack defense is going to be a big point of emphasis for the Red Raiders today. Last time they faced the Black Sox, that 7-4 loss on July 9th, they out-hit the Sox 12-7, but made 5 defensive errors.
Yeah, absolutely. Defense is big in a game like this. Seems to be both pitchers are pretty comfortable, and the defenses are making big plays. For example, the Black Sox getting that inning-ending double play just a couple minutes ago. Yeah, defense is big in a game like this.
Outside, 2-0 to Dustin Sipe, and it only helps the defense when the pitchers are throwing strikes, keeping your defenders on their toes, ready to make a play. Ostin's 2-0 is lined back into center field. Good swing on an elevated pitch from Sipe, and he's aboard with a single. First hit of the game for the Black Sox.
Now batting, the shortstop from IUPUC, number 14, Peyton Blinn.
That brings up Peyton Blinn. Can play all over the infield, but he's slotted in at shortstop today. Ostin works out of the stretch and gets a high pop-up left side. This will stay well in play, but they can't see it at short. Beasley has it fall on the dirt, and it kicks away from Wallen, so no chance to get the out at second. And that will go down, I believe, as a base hit for Blinn because it never touched a glove. Now 2 on, 1 out, and just unfortunate circumstances for Ostin with the sun.
Northeast Community College, number 25, Darius Hagan.
Yeah, looking up in that bright yellow sun, it's tough sometimes if you have the ball and then lose it to regroup and find it again, and that's exactly what happened. And yeah, very unfortunate for the Red Raiders, and now they hope for a double play ball, ground ball, middle infield.
Darius Hagan in the box, and he pulls one foul for strike one. Hagan has seen more at-bats than any other member of the Black Sox this year. This is his 51st of the season. Went 1 for 4 with a strikeout and an RBI on Friday against the Haymakers, and he enters on a 5-game hit streak today. He slaps that one foul over the bullpen of the Red Raiders. Now to play 0-2. Ostin's pitch lined into center field. That is slicing away from Triggs, and it's down for a hit. Everybody moves up a base. And here we go again. This time the Black Sox have the bases loaded with 1 out as Hagan with a beautiful swing on 0-2.
Yeah, pokes it out there into center field. Wise decision. Black Sox kind of doing what we saw with the Red Raiders, keeping that guy over at third base to have a bases loaded and 1 out opportunity. But this time the Black Sox working with the bottom of the order compared to the Red Raiders where they had the top of the order up.
And Ostin again. His problem all year long, surfacing early today. He's just getting hit. Already 3 hits in this inning. Although one of them should have been caught at short. As this is a great play by Beasley to make up for it. They'll get 1 out. A run will score on the fielder's choice as Sipe comes home. Harris reaches at first base. That was a fine sliding play by Ty Beasley to get an out and potentially save 1 or 2 more runs later on in the inning.
Yeah, I mean, I think Beasley right there made that snag. That saves a run, in my opinion. I think it's a 2-0 game if he doesn't make that play, and there's 1 out, not 2. So heck of a play, and Beasley putting the team on his back. Yeah, they sacrificed the run. They're down now, but, you know, save yourself in the long run.
Manny Fregoso, the second baseman, takes ball 1. He's the 10-hitter, and it was Beasley who dropped the ball on Peyton Blinn's pop-up, or lost it in the sun. And that created a first and second with 1 out situation earlier in the inning rather than a first base and 2 out. As that's on the outside corner. 1-1 the count on Fregoso. Just 1 hit in 25 ABs this year for the 10-hitter out of Cerritos College. Runner goes. This is grounded and a tough play, and nobody makes the play. It went right in between Beasley and Lee. Both were over to cover second base, and it winds up squirting through. See how it's scored. 2 on, 2 out now as another run comes in.
Yeah, that's right there. That's Beasley, the shortstop. He's the leader of the infield. He needs to call that ball off, or he lets Lee take the ball, and yeah, more communication, and that, unfortunately, they sacrifice a run because of that.
So it is an error, as this is grounded to third by Larkin at the top of the order. A little bobble over there at third, and everybody's safe. Wallen couldn't pick it up cleanly, and his throw to first offline as well. Errors on back-to-back plays from the Red Raider infield, and now the bases are juiced again.
The first baseman from Northeast Community College, number 38, Caden Young.
So here is Caden Young, the first baseman. And he goes after the first pitch and slices a foul, strike one. I mentioned the 5 errors made in the last meeting with the Black Sox for the Red Raiders. And just as I talk about defensive improvements being needed, they've already made 2, and could basically say 3 with the dropped pop-up, as this is lined into center field, but right there to make the catch is Triggs.
For the Black Sox.
And 2 runs surrendered by the Red Raiders, but they're out of it. Black Sox jump out on top, looking to win their 3rd consecutive game against the Red Raiders. And they're off to a good start, 2-0 as we head to 3rd on the Corn Belt League Network.
Nelson. Number 42.
Top of the 3rd inning. Black Sox lead 2-0. So Red Raiders bring the 2, 3, and 4 hitters to the plate here in the 3rd inning. Starting with Gabe Protetic, the catcher. Takes strike 1. He singled in the first. And Brandon Krebs has been pitching on the edge in the first 2 innings. In both the first and the second, he's gotten into first and second with 1-out situations, but both times, Jack, he's gotten out of it no problem.
Yeah, his defense stepped up for him when he needed, especially that double play to end the top of the 2nd inning. Have to rely on your defense, and he's not a strikeout guy. We've seen hasn't had one yet today, but his defense is making plays for him behind his back.
1-2 the count on Bretetic. And he lines this one on a bounce. It hits the chest of the second baseman, Fregoso, but he recovers in time for the out. It's a great job to stay with it. That one took a big hop, as it was not only hit hard, but Fregoso had to decide whether it was going to kick off the grass or the infield dirt. He was fooled at first, but made the play.
That's a perfectly played ball by Fregoso. He's fearless. He just takes that one off the chest and does, I mean, a lot of guys will try and, basket it almost at the waist, but he just takes it right off the chest and keeps it in front of him, makes a play. Awesome play there by Fregoso.
Upstairs ball 1 to Dalton Nelson. It reminds me of that one scene from Happy Gilmore where he's just standing in the batting cage taking baseballs off the chest. Yeah. 1-0 pitch on the outside corner, strike 1 to Dalton Nelson, the left fielder. He also singled in the first. Fly ball, right center. Larkin goes into the gap and makes the catch, calling off Harris. 2 away. Another solid defensive play out there from the Black Sox.
Telling you, the Red Raiders aren't, they're very aggressive with the bats. They haven't gotten to a deep count really at all, and that really helps out Krebs if you're the Black Sox. But nice job there from the center fielder, and Larkin called that ball off. Communication, something we saw the Red Raiders struggle with a little bit in the middle infield that gave up a run in the end.
Errol Wallen going after the first pitch. He pops it up. 2 guys converge in foul territory. Was it caught? Yes, it was. Sliding grab made by the catcher, Wortman. Fantastic defense to end both the 2nd and 3rd innings for the Black Sox, and they take a 2-0 lead to the bottom of the 3rd. Bottom of the third inning, it's 2-0 Black Sox, leading the Red Raiders. And Spencer Crane, the extra hitter, leads off. 3, 4, and 5 hitters coming to bat for the home team on the scoreboard, the Black Sox. As Crane shows a bunt and takes for a strike. Josh Ostin back to work for the Red Raiders. He gave up 2 runs, both of which were earned in the second inning. And this is off the end of the bat and down into left field for a base hit. Spencer Crane has a leadoff single. And these two teams are swinging the bat fairly well early on in this one, contrary to what we saw in the first matchup, the 2-1 game with the Haymakers and Bombers.
And now the Black Sox are being patient towards the, in the first inning, but now, they're swinging at first pitches and rips one to left field, and a positive start for the Black Sox. Get that first runner on with a base hit, and you're working through the heart of the order too. Now here's Wortman.
Steve Wortman, the catcher, after that fantastic defensive play in foul territory. The sliding catch to end the third inning, top half, as he swings through strike one. Black Sox put together 2 singles in the second inning, and both of those base runners came around to score. And now they'll have 2 more base hits as Wortman drops one into left center. Crane hustles into second base, and it's 2 on, nobody out for the Black Sox here in the third. Chance to extend that lead.
Now batting, the designated hitter from Kansas Wesleyan, number 45, Brandon Zwiener.
It's Brandon Zwiener with the opportunity here.
Please. Courtesy runner at first base.
And a courtesy runner at first.
Omaha, number 8, Sid DeMayo.
Sid DeMayo from UNO.
Being a UNO broadcaster, seen a lot of Sid play. He's a good player. He's kind of had the same role at the Mavs, a kind of a courtesy runner, and pinch ran a lot. He's got some wheels.
First and second, nobody out. Brandon Zwiener shows bunt. And he makes contact, but that one just too far outside for him to put in fair territory. Strike one.
Yeah, if you can see, he's looking down that first base line, so look for Swaney to charge the mound, and then maybe Lee come cover the bag. Get those guys in the second and third, 2 men on. And in scoring position with less than 2 outs is the goal here for the Black Sox.
Zwiener with 6 hits, 3 doubles, and 7 runs batted in his last 5 games. Been swinging it well. But again, they ask him to bunt. It's a pretty good one down that first base line. Bare hand play is made by Swaney. Lee covering the bag from second. But Zwiener does the job. Both runners move up, and now 2 in scoring position for Dustin Sipe.
Now batting, the third baseman from Kansas Wesleyan, number 12, Dustin Sipe.
And Dustin scored the first run of the game, got on with a base hit to center field. We'll see if he can duplicate that and potentially have 2 RBIs for himself here with a base hit.
Sipe hitting .385 coming in with runners in scoring position. And he will put the ball in the air as he takes strike one. His 47.6% fly ball rate leads the team. So if you're looking for a sacrifice fly or even a bloop 2-run single, he's your guy. 0-1 pitch. And there is the fly ball, right center field, tailing into the gap and down for a hit. The runners were not moving initially, waiting for a catch, so 1 run will score as Crane comes in. DeMayo on to third. RBI single for Dustin Sipe to make it 3-0.
Now batting, the shortstop from IUPUC, number 14, Peyton Flynn.
Yeah, it's good pace of hitting. Just poke something out there. This is a big ballpark, a lot of green grass now, outfield and finding the grass. And wisely, DeMayo waits for that ball to drop, and before he starts taking off, don't want to throw yourself in and out.
We've already seen 1 double play to the outfield. There's a high chopper to first. They'll get the out at second. Return throw to first is in time for 2. The runner had come in from third, DeMayo, but he's erased by the double play. Red Raiders with some Great defense to end the inning after they struggled in the second. They do concede one, and the Black Sox take a 3-0 lead to the fourth on the Corn Belt League Network.
Slaney and Tran.
Top of the fourth inning, 3-0 Black Sox. Red Raiders trying to climb back into this thing before the deficit becomes too insurmountable as Ethan Neeson leads off and takes inside ball one from Brandon Krebs, who has thrown 3 shutout frames with some help from his defense. There's 40 pitches through 3 for Krebs. He's been very efficient despite allowing 5 men to reach. It's 1-1. Neeson takes, and it's a good bottom of the zone pitch to make it 1-2.
And this is more of what the Red Raiders need, is this patience from the plate and being able to find their pitch and drive it. Don't chase the first pitch every time.
That is inside, 2-2. Neeson, the 5-hitter in this Red Raider lineup, and he grounds one. Back up the middle. Fielded at short, and the throw in time. Strong play by Blinn at shortstop. After he was robbed by the double play to end the third, he makes the first out in the top of the fourth.
The first baseman.
Yeah, nice job there to shift to his left and get behind the second base bag and make that play kind of on the run, sliding into shallow right center field. Nice play there from the shortstop, Blinn.
TJ Swaney takes a rip and fouls it straight back. He walked and then fell victim to that weird play at second base where he was safe, then out, then safe, then out again. Some confusion between him and the umpire. Takes upstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike. Wave and a miss. Good pitch away from Krebs, and now 1-2 to Swaney out of Southwestern Community College. 1-2 pitch. Got the same off-speed pitch once again, and this time he laid off. Good adjustment from Swaney. Now the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Krebs locating well, up and away, and he gets the swinging strikeout for out number 2.
Yeah, his first strikeout of the day. It's good to see that. Gets on an outside fastball, gets Swaney to chase a little bit too far. Nice job there from Krebs, and he is cruising through 3 2/3.
Now it's the right fielder, Caleb Schramm. There's ball 1 from Krebs. And a fair ball down the left field line. Schramm will turn first, head for second. Throw out of left field is Not in time. A swim slide from Schramm at second base as Darius Hagan, who's been great in left field today, made a strong throw, and the second baseman Fregoso got the tag down in plenty of time, but Schramm somehow gets around it for a double.
Yeah, he just sneaks it past Sipe there down that third base line and barely must have gotten in there at second base to avoid being out, but risky base running, aggressive base running, it works out in their favor.
Swing and a miss from Triggs, strike one. What it does is allow the Red Raiders to potentially get a run back on a single.
Yeah, they've struggled with this all game today, as hitting with runners in scoring position, had a couple chances early on in this game and haven't capitalized.
Triggs, high fly ball, left center field. Hagan goes back. Larkin cuts him off and makes the reaching catch in left center field. So yet again, the Red Raiders leave a man in scoring position, and the Black Sox hold a 3-0 lead behind 4 scoreless frames from Brandon Krebs. We'll be right back on the Corn Belt League Network. Bottom of the 4th inning, Black Sox 3, Red Raiders nothing on the Corn Belt League Network. Tyler Reidy alongside Jack McGonigal, as there's a bunt try to lead off the inning from Darius Hagan, left fielder, goes foul. Jack, what are you seeing from Josh Ostin? This is the 5th time now in 6 starts where he's given up at least 6 hits. He's given up 7 through the first 3 innings. We're trying to piece it together here. That's a line out to second. Nice play by Fregoso to make that lead. But what are you seeing from Ostin out there on the bump through 3+ innings?
Yeah, I mean, he's given these Black Sox things to hit, and they definitely have. That's, I mean, where they're ahead 3-0, but I mean, it's been a well-pitched game. I mean, not a lot of walks, no hit by pitches. Both these pitchers are accurate, and they've had good command, but Ostin's just left a couple things too far out onto the plate, hanged them just a little bit too much, as the Black Sox been able to capitalize and get base hits. But I mean, for Krebs, I mean, he's dealing through 4 innings. We've seen that, just a couple base hits allowed, nothing across the board. So far, a well-pitched game so far.
Christian Harris, the right fielder, takes ball 1. He drove in a run with a fielder's choice. 2nd inning, it's a high chopper down the third base line. It's played in fair territory, and the throw is in time. A strong throw from Errol Wallen for the 2nd out. And that's always a tough decision at third base, whether to try and make a play on it or gamble on it going foul. Wallen felt confident in his arm, and for good reason.
College, number 22, Manny Fregoso.
Yeah, 2 quick outs here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Quick work so far from Ostin, and these Black Sox getting things to hit.
Blown away, ball 1 to Manny Fregoso, the second baseman. He drove in the second of the 2 runs in inning number 2. He reached on an error, hitting the ball up the middle between Beasley and Lee. And that's outside, 2-0. Fregoso started the season 0 for 21, but picked up his first hit and drove in a couple last Sunday against the Haymakers, and lifts that one foul, 2-1. Osteen with a good pitch, lower part of the zone, despite falling behind 2-0. Two-one. Looped over second base into right center field, base hit. Fregoso with a 2-out knock as Lee got twisted around and couldn't make the grab. And we'll flip it over to the top of the order.
That could really lead to something if you're the Black Sox. Get that top of the order up, maybe spark a 2-out rally and put some more insurance for them on the board. But yeah, I mean, you gotta like what the Black Sox are doing. They're not hitting things too hard. They're just finding those gaps, finding those holes, and able to put runners on the base paths and turn them into runs.
Steven Larkin takes outside, ball 1. He is 0 for 2 with a ground out to third and reaching on an error in the second. 1-0 pitch. Fregoso is running. Throw down is on a bounce, and a great play to get the tag down from Ira Lee. Bratetic with a strong throw. It was on a bounce, and Lee fielded it cleanly and got the tag on Fregoso to end the inning. Hot stealing takes us to the 5th. Still 3-0 Black Sox on the Corn Belt League Network. Better than some baseball on a Sunday afternoon. Good crowd on hand. Bearable temperatures, bearable heat here in Omaha on a mid-July Sunday afternoon as the Red Raiders and the Bombers play into the 5th inning. As that's up and away, ball 1 to Ira Lee, the second baseman, who made the great tag on Manny Fregoso trying to steal second to end the 4th. And he gets out in front of one. Hits it high in the air, down the left field line, and catch is made out from short by Peyton Blinn. 4-out number 1, just onto the outfield grass.
Top of the order, the shortstop from Minnesota Morris, number 8, Ty Beasley.
Jack, this has absolutely been the key for Brandon Krebs, what we saw right there. Quick outs. He's done it time and time again today.
Yeah, we saw the Haymakers hurler go the distance in the first game in that 2-1 victory, and we could definitely see the same thing here from Krebs.
He was at just 51 pitches through 4 innings, as this is on the ground to short, and it goes through the glove of Blinn. So that will be an error, As Ty Beasley, the speed threat, gets on with one out. So when you hit it hard, you can give him credit for that, but it was right at Blinn and just picked up the glove a little bit too soon.
Yeah, if the Red Raiders need anything more right now, it's for them to capitalize off that error. They're not going to get many opportunities like that and out given away. And yet this heart of the order up, this is a huge part of the game for the Red Raiders.
Snap throw back to first on the pitch outside to Bertetic, the catcher. He's 1 for 2 with a single back in the first. It's just interesting to watch the middle infielders. We saw the play earlier where Fregoso went down to a knee, as this is going to be at least one, and that's all they'll get. As it's a fielder's choice, Bertetic reaching, but as I was saying, we saw Fregoso go down to a knee to stop the hard ground ball earlier and make a play. Blinn elected not to do that, but I think that had a little something to do with the speed of Ty Beasley. You just don't have time to knock it down when you got a guy going down the line that hard.
Yeah, and the Red Raiders have really struggled against the Black Sox pitching, getting shut out 5-0 the first time they met, and haven't been able to really hit the ball well at all against this Black Sox pitching staff, and so far another example of that here this afternoon.
Outside, ball one. Dalton Nelson, 1 for 2 with a single and a flyout. There is some action over in the Black Sox bullpen. Blowing away 2 balls, no strikes. Krebs has thrown as many as 80 pitches this season, and he just pitched last Friday but did only throw 15 pitches. As this is popped up, watch out in the stands. And that's a foul ball. 2-1.
You get a good crowd on hand for the Sunday afternoon baseball, Tyler.
Yep, gotta love it. Beautiful day. Good baseball being played. Getting into the dog days of summer, but it's not too hot, as we've been saying, as that's an off-speed pitch that loops up and in, 3-1. Dalton Nelson in a hitter's count. 3-1 from Krebs. That is upstairs, ball 4. 2 on, 2 out for the cleanup man, Errol Wallen. An opportunity for the Red Raiders to get back in it.
Now batting, the third baseman from St. Cloud State, number 36, Errol Wallen.
There's been a runner in scoring position in 4 of the 5 innings so far for the Red Raiders. Have not yet to capitalize.
And there's strike 1 to Wallen. Runners at first and second. And time is called. I believe it's Jacob Aberg pinch running again for Bertetic over at second base. Ground ball up the middle. Blinn will get another chance after the error, and he wings it to first in time for the third out. 5 shutout innings for Brandon Krebs, and a 3-0 Black Sox lead to the bottom of the 5th inning here on the Corn Belt League Network.
Young and Crane.
Bottom of the fifth inning, Black Sox 3, Red Raiders nothing. In game 2 of our Sunday Tripleheader on the Corn Belt League Network, Tyler Reidy and Jack McGonigal on the call. As Josh Ostin works into his 5th inning. Fires strike 1 to top of the order. Stephen Larkin, the center fielder, he is 0 for 2. 0-2, dotting that outside corner pretty well.
Yeah, that's a really tough spot to hit a baseball, is that low and outside corner, and so far Ostin has hit those perfectly the first 2 pitches here in the inning.
In the air, right field, slicing, nobody's catching that. Great effort. Full speed ahead for Schramm out in right field, but he can't run it down. Still 0-2. We did see Tony Donahue warming up for a while in that Red Raider bullpen, but he has ceased. Got some action, however, in the Black Sox pen. Nick Davidson, the lefty. And we also saw right-hander P.J. Nagy getting loose earlier. He has gone back to the dugout. 0-2. Chopped foul in on the hands of Larkin. Black Sox with 2 in the second, 1 in the third. 3 runs on 7 hits, 2 errors. Red Raiders, no runs, 4 hits, 2 errors. 1-2, up and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Larkin. Ostin just 1 strikeout through his first 4 innings of work. Yeah, that one just misses up. Ratetic tried to frame it, make it more appealing to the home plate umpire, but now 3-2. Ostin would hate to lose the leadoff man after he had him 0-2. But it's hit in the air, left center field, a mile high. Noah Triggs makes the catch for out number 1. So Ostin,
now batting, the first
after
baseman,
working the count to 3-2, makes a pitch, puts one in the zone, and challenges Larkin to hit it, and hit it he did, but right to a fielder. And now Caden Young steps in. Low ball 1. Young is 0 for 1 with a walk and a line out to center. And he rips that one into right field. Schramm will have to play it on a hop, and it's a base hit. And that's 8 of them now on the afternoon for the Black Sox.
Now batting, the extra hitter from Baldwin Wallace, number 31, Spencer Crane.
So now both the bullpens are empty as Spencer Crane, the extra hitter, comes to bat. And he hits one on the ground. Taylor-made double play ball. They've got 1 at second. Beasley's throw to first is in time. 4-6-3 gets Ostin out of the 5th very quickly. And it's a 3-0 lead for the Black Sox going to the 6th inning. Can the Red Raiders mount to come back? We'll find out. You're watching Corn Belt League Baseball on the CBL
No matter
Network.
what your age, skill level, or position, your baseball season begins at the Strike Zone. Featuring state-of-the-art batting cages, group and private instruction, the Strike Zone provides athletes all the training and equipment you need to get your game to the next level. Give the gift of development to your baseball or softball player. Purchase your Strike Zone gift cards today. Baseball never ends at the Strike Zone. No matter what.
designated hitter.
Top of the sixth inning,
College,
Red Raiders
41,
trailing by 3, and they're
Neeson.
facing a pitcher who's on a hot streak today. Brandon Krebs has thrown 5 shutout innings. He fires low in the dirt, ball 1. Neeson, Sweeney, and Schramm, 5, 6, 7 hitters for the Red Raiders here in the 6th. As this is popped up, that's going out of play. Look out in the bleachers. Nobody brought their glove over there. Looks like that might be the crop dusters over there hanging out, getting some food before their 5 o'clock game. So 1-1 the count on Neeson. He is 0 for 2 with a pair of groundouts to short. And he waves and misses at a high fastball, 1-2. Perhaps has to be pitching with a lot of confidence here in the 6th with the 3-run lead and the way he's been going. And there is a beautiful off-speed pitch. No chance for Neeson. He just locks up and watches it go by for strike 3. 1 down in the 6th.
Now batting, the first baseman.
Second strikeout, first backwards K of the day. Just absolutely beautiful. Just sneaks it right past Neeson for the K and first out here in the 6th inning.
Upstairs, ball 1 to TJ Sweeney, who was the first strikeout victim back in the 4th. He's also walked. And he hits this one high in the air toward the fence and over it into the bleachers, and a souvenir, at least for the next 2 minutes before that fan returns it to the dugout. 1-1. Reps has a chance to become second pitcher of the day, joining Cole Warner of the Haymakers to go the distance, throw 7 innings. His pitch count's in great shape as he's through 5 1/3 on under 75. This has popped up out of play. Still 1-2. Sweeney adjusts the batting gloves. Gets back in there. Another 1-2 pitch. Upstairs. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The top and bottom of the order have given Krebs the most trouble today. The middle has been very subdued. Now 3 balls, 2 strikes on Sweeney. And a foul tip. Sweeney stays alive. He just catches a piece of it and deflects it enough so that wouldn't be caught by Wortman behind the dish. Three-two pitch. Knuckled. It dies in the grass. I'm not sure Krebs is going to have a play. He tries to flip it behind his back. Looking like Bartolo Colon in Miami from a few years back, but he does not get the out. That'll be a base hit, and just perfect placement from Sweeney.
Yeah, kind of finds it in that no man's land in between a lot of those infielders and just sneaks it there and beats it out. Nice hustle and an infield base hit. And Red Raiders are hitting the baseball, but just can't get anything across the plate.
See what Caleb Schramm can do. He has doubled today. The only extra base hit for the Red Raiders, and he fouls one away, strike 1.
Yeah, although the ball is sitting in foul territory and now must have bounced up in the batter's box or something. And it's 0-1.
Schramm and the catcher, Rusty Wortman, having a good conversation as They retrieve the foul ball, and now 0-1 the count. Krebs out of the stretch. That is low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Throw over to first. Swaney back with no problem. He's stolen just 1 bag this year, so you wouldn't expect him to run. 1-1 pitch. That's way outside. He'll be running here as it gets away from Ortman. And Swaney moves into scoring position on the wild pitch. Two-one to Schramm. Upstairs, 3-1. Caleb Schramm coming off a fine game against the Royal Blue Dogs on Thursday, going 2 for 3 with a walk, RBI, 2 runs, and a stolen base. It was his first multi-hit game of the year. But he swings through that one to fill the count, 3-2. Krebs trying to finish off 6 shutout innings. And this is popped up. Shallow right center. Larkin and Harris. It's Larkin making the catch for out number 2. And no advance on the shallow flyout from Swaney.
Way to bounce back from that 3-1 deficit in the count from Krebs and attack his hitters and get a flyout in the second out of the inning and keeping that runner in Swaney up there on second base.
Now it's up to Noah Triggs, who can be a big force in the bottom of this order. He's batting .318 on the year and an even better .417 average with runners in scoring position, and that's the situation here with Swaney at second, but he swings and misses strike 1. Triggs 0 for 2. He's reached on an error and flied out. In the Black Sox bullpen, there is action. It's Will Johnson, a right-hander, as it's now 1-1 on Noah Triggs from Peru State. With no batting gloves. How about that?
I don't see that very often, and sometimes it stings a little more when you get something jammed inside to you, but hey, they are some of the toughest guys in the game, those guys that don't wear the batting gloves. Pete Alonso, isn't he? He didn't wear batting gloves, I
think he does.
Oh, okay.
Evan Gaddis is one that comes to my mind. Old lumberjack look.
Oh, yeah.
2-2 to count on Triggs. Krebs trying to at least continue, maybe finish off a tremendous outing as the 2-2 pitch is upstairs. 3-2. See how much of a lead Swaney gets off second. The outfield is playing shallow. Popped up. That's out of play. Count still full. Bottom of the order, Ira Lee on deck. Three-two pitch. Krebs brings it home. It's outside, ball 4. Great take by Noah Triggs. And now Krebs will have to start all over again with 2 on, 2 out.
Now batting, the second baseman from Treasure Valley Community College, number 32, Ira Lee.
Imagine if Lee gets on here. Maybe see a mound visit, try and cool Krebs down. First trouble he's really been in a little while.
And it's popped up. He is out of trouble. Catch made at first base by Caden Young. 6 shutout innings for Brandon Krebs. And a 3-0 Black Sox lead to the bottom of the 6th here on the Corn Belt League Network. Some great pitching we're seeing on this Sunday afternoon.
Omaha, number 46, Tony Donahoe.
Tony Donahoe is on the mound for the Red Raiders here as we move on to the bottom of the sixth. 3-0 the score. Black Sox in the lead.
Number 29, Rusty Wortman.
Donahoe out of University of Nebraska, Omaha, and he has seen the Black Sox before through 3 innings of 2-run baseball. One of the runs was earned on July 9th as this is hit well left center field by Wortman, but it is tracked down out there by the left fielder Dalton Nelson for out number 1.
Yeah, nice job there from Dalton Nelson. Never taking his eye off the baseball, taking a couple steps back and makes a nice running grab out there and sort of deep left field. 1 pitch, 1 out for Donahoe.
Donahoe comes in with an ERA of 6 in those 3 relief appearances, 7 innings. As that's outside ball 1 to Brandon Zwiener. 0 for 1 with a ground out to third and a sac bunt. And he takes 1-1. And that is outside, 2-1. So the final line on Josh Ostin, he throws 5 innings, 70 pitches. He gives up 9 hits, walks 1, 3 earned runs, and just 1 strikeout. So a decent outing. Nothing too great, but no eye-poppingly bad numbers off the score sheet from Ostin. He keeps his team in the game, just needs some help from his offense as this is hit on a bounce to short. Beasley makes a sliding play, but as he got up to try and throw it, the ball careened toward the left field line, and that will be a base hit. Zwiener's on with 1 down.
Now batting, the third baseman, Kansas Wesleyan, number 12, Dustin Sy.
So Sipe, the third baseman, with a man on, 1 down. Zwiener has attempted 1 stolen base this year, but he was caught as it's 1-0 on Sipe, who has 2 singles today. He scored a run, he's driven in a run. And he takes one up near his head, ducking out of the way. 2 balls, no strikes. For Sipe, this is his second multi-hit game in the last week. He also did it on July 11th against the Rail Riders, scoring 2 runs, walking twice as well. That's on the outside corner to bring the count to 2-1. Right-hander Tony Donahoe, a quick pickoff move to first, and Zwiener is back in time. Donahoe can be a fine middle to long reliever. He's thrown 55, 56 pitches in his last 2 outings, and they have Zwiener out by a mile at second base. I'm not sure if that was supposed to be a hit and run. Sipe is just standing there with his hands out, confused at the plate, as if there was a missed sign. Zwiener slowed up going to second base as he was out by a mile. And that's the second caught stealing for the Black Sox today.
All of a sudden, now 2 outs and the bags are empty for Donahoe.
And he gets a high fly ball, center field. Triggs shading his eyes. He goes back and makes the catch.
For the Black Sox in the bottom of the 6th inning, no runs on 1 hit.
And
there's no one left on base.
Just watching Donahoe. I don't know where he's going, but instead of walking back toward the dugout, I guess he's walking back to celebrate with his teammates. 3 down, and we go to the top of the 7th. Red Raiders trying to get this game tied at 3. They've got 3 outs to get 3 runs when we return on the Corn Belt League Network. Top of the 7th inning. Red Raiders trail the Black Sox 3-0. Another low-scoring, well-pitched ball game here on this Sunday afternoon. As the top of the order comes to bat for the Red Raiders, needing 3, starting with Ty Beasley, the shortstop. Tyler Reidy and Jack McGonigal with you in our second game of the tripleheader. We'll have the Crop Dusters and Filthballers on deck in the 5 o'clock game. Coming up at the conclusion of this one, which has the chance to get done in less than an hour and a half. And Beasley will help that cause with a quick fly out to center field, 1 down. Brandon Krebs looking to go the distance. He's 2 outs away at just 89 pitches through 6 1/3. And now we'll have a mound meeting. Jack, what do you think the conversation's about here? I don't think you can take Krebs out in this situation. There's no doubt about that. But
No, yeah, let him finish this game. He's pitched really well. I mean, nothing across the board. 5-6 hits allowed in 6 1/3 innings. This has been great. Oh, man, we're mistakenly wrong.
Okay, so he has eclipsed the season high in pitch count. He had thrown 80 at most coming in, and he's up near 90, and he is done. A tremendous outing for Brandon Krebs. He goes 6 1/3 innings of shutout baseball, and he hands it over to Will Johnson, the right-hander out of Mount Marty, and he will get warmed up, and we'll be right back to talk about him and close out this top of the 7th inning on the Corn Belt League Network. One away in the top of the 7th inning. Will Johnson gets the ball, and the Black Sox call to the bullpen. He's a right-hander out of Mount Marty University. He's made 3 relief appearances this year with an ERA of 0. Has yet to allow a run in 2 2/3 innings pitched as he fires low and away ball 1 to Gabe Ratetic, the catcher, who is 1 for 3 with a single. And now 2-0. Johnson last appeared Monday against the Rail Riders, throwing a scoreless inning on 11 pitches. And he's got an interesting delivery. Very slow, not a ton of moving parts coming off that mound, as it's 2-1 on Ratetic. A lot of guys are very funky. Arms and legs flying everywhere when they bring it home, but for Johnson, it's almost like he's playing a game of catch in the backyard as he fires strike 2. 2-2 pitch. Knuckled. Right center field. Long run, and it is down for a hit. Looked like Harris was playing toward the line, and he had the best shot of it coming in from right field, but on the slide, he couldn't make the catch. And a base runner with 1 out in the 7th for Dalton Nelson, the left fielder.
Now batting, the left fielder from Western Nebraska Community College, number 40, Dalton Nelson.
Once again, Jacob Aberg is the courtesy runner for Brachedic. First pitch to Nelson, hits sky high, shallow center. Steven Larkin makes the catch. And the Red Raiders are down to their final out. It'll be Arrow Wallen representing their last chance.
Your attention please, courtesy runner at first base from Cobb County Community College, number 29, Jacob Aberg. Now batting, the third baseman from St. Cloud State, number 36, Arrow Wallen.
Wallen is 0 for 3 with a fly out, a pop up, and a ground out. Will Johnson trying to close out a shutout win for the Black Sox. Fires outside for ball one. Black Sox have 2 shutout wins this year. One against the Haymakers on June 17th, 4-0, and then 10-0 against the Bombers on June 23rd. Fouled straight back, and it's 1-1 on Wallen. Now the 1-1, just off the outside corner. Maybe a bit low. 2-1 to count. Aberg, the runner at first. Wallen takes, and it's inside. 3 balls, 1 strike. You'd hate to walk Wallen in this situation and bring Ethan Neeson to the plate as the tying run. 3-1 pitch. In the air, right field. That's going to get down. And it'll send Aberg to third base. So a pitch in on the hands. Wallen just fights it off and drops it into right field for a single. And here we go. Runners on the corners, 2 out. And it's Neeson as the tying run at the plate.
Yeah, it's a really nice piece of hitting. Just kind of get jammed and poke it out to the right field, find that gap, shallow right. Now runners on the corners, tying run at the plate. Neeson, he's 0 for 3 on the day. He's due for a base hit here.
Neeson coming off a multi-hit game on Thursday. He's 0 for 3, as you said. Trying to extend his hit streak to 4 games as he takes low and away ball 1. Over the last 3 games, he's 4 for 8 with triple RBI, couple runs scored. And has great speed as well. Slice down the right field line. Foul ball. Boy, the Red Raiders were peering out of the dugout, hoping that thing would drop fair, but just sliced a little bit too much. 1-1 the count on the foul ball. Aberg at third, Wallen at first. The only runner the Red Raiders care about right now is the man at the plate. Lined, center field, Larkin on the move, he makes the catch and the game's over. Shutout win for the Black Sox. They win it 3-0 over the Red Raiders behind a sensational pitching performance from Brandon Krebs. We'll talk to him in just a few minutes. But Will Johnson closes it out. Black Sox win game 2, 3-0. And we will move on to our 5 o'clock game between the Crop Dusters and the Filthballers. We'll be right back in a moment with our player of the game, Tyler Reidy and Jack McGonigal here on the Corn Belt League Network. We will be right back in a moment. back at J.J. Isaacson Field after the Black Sox take it 3-0 over the Red Raiders in the second game of our triple-header, and it's a big win for the Black Sox, not only their third shutout win of the season, but now with the Filthballers result pending from the 5 o'clock game, they are within 3 games of the Filthballers as the Black Sox improved to 14-6 on the season, and I'm here with their player of the game, and once again, it's the winning pitcher, Brandon Krebs. Phenomenal outing today. He goes 6 1/3, scoreless innings, 5 hits allowed, 3 walks. He strikes out 2. 90 pitches thrown. Brandon, you pick up the win. You throw shutout baseball. What was working for you today?
Didn't necessarily have my best off speed. Fastball wasn't hitting a lot either, so I was just more worried about locating. Kind of just talked to the guys before the game and saying, I need you behind me today. Gonna have a lot of ground balls, and Peyton Blinn at shortstop had a phenomenal day behind me because I talked to him a lot and just warned him that he's going to have a lot of action today. So the guys behind me really helped me out today. Yeah,
absolutely. And part of the reason you were able to go so deep is obviously your ability to keep the pitch count down. It seemed like those first couple innings, you were getting into some trouble, some traffic on the base paths, but you got out of it. Also throwing first pitch strikes, pitching to contact. How important was that early in the innings to not only get out of the trouble, but keep the pitch count down?
Oh, it's a game changer. You got guys that tend to rack it up early, and then they're out of the game by the 4th, 5th inning. Our staff, we all kind of pride ourselves on really working hard and really getting out as early as we can and having efficient innings early and often. So.
The next thing, you mentioned your defense. One of the best plays, in addition to what Peyton Blinn did today, that line out to left field, Darius Hagan making the diving catch and then turn into it second to end the second inning. Just talk a little bit more about the importance of your defense in a game like today.
Again, I'm not a guy that's going to blow anyone by with my fastball, and I really, I talk to my guys, and I really have them behind my back, and I let them know that they're going to get a lot of action today, and every day they come out and they support me and they have my back, so can't ask for much more.
Now take us through that conversation on the mound in the 7th inning. You get the first out at Ty Beasley. You're about to enter into the upper middle part of the order. You're sitting at 90 pitches through 6 1/3. Did you want to stay in? How was the arm feeling? Just what was the nature of that conversation when you were pulled there in the 7th?
The athleticism and the athlete in me is always going to want to stay in and compete for that final 7 all the way through. But me and Sonny talked, we got bigger and better things coming up with the postseason coming around the corner and still trying to cut out a few more wins so we can get that top dog. So, we're just really working on maintaining our health now so we can win later.
Yeah, you mentioned the postseason, and this kind of win, a shutout, a business-like win, has to build a lot of confidence for you guys. What does this do with just a week remaining in the regular season for your morale in the dugout and the clubhouse as you keep on going toward the postseason here?
I think we just keep on pushing. I think all year we've always, if we have a day where we end up losing, I think we come back even bigger and badder. So I think just we always ride together, and the Sox are hot.
Yeah, Black Sox are hot indeed.
Yes,
they're coming up on the Filthballers. Keep an eye on them, and we will have the Filthballers coming up next. They take on the Crop Dusters and try and maintain their 3-game lead in the Corn Belt League. Brandon Krebs, our player of the game. Thank you for sitting down with us, Brandon.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate it. Great outing for him, and a great win for the Black Sox. They win it 3-0 over the Red Raiders. For Jade Taylor, Jack McGonigal, our entire Corn Belt League crew, Ryan Kelly as well. Thank you for tuning into our 2 o'clock game, and stay right with us. We'll be back in about an hour and 15 minutes for our 5 o'clock game here on the CBL Network.